Hey guys, welcome to Trinity's training page. It's a late Friday afternoon. We've been training real hard all week, and I've got a couple of questions that I need to get answered for you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you for all of our new members joining in. The Pro 550 collar giveaway has really taken off. I do appreciate you guys spreading the word on that, and like I said, we're going to get 2,000 members before you know it. We're going to give that Pro 550 to one of you lucky Trinity followers. One of the questions that I wanted to cover today was we have a new member, Hunter Estes. I believe that's how you say the name. He has a young dog that he wants to train to be his first lab. That's often very exciting, but very overwhelming and confusing also. So I just wanted to say that I think you're in the right place. We got lots of good things going on here, and everybody's chipping in and trying to help out, and I really do appreciate that. But his question was, his dog is scared of guns. Well, that's a one that's easy to create and hard to fix. Okay, I don't know your situation with your dog, what your dog's been through, been around, or whatever, but I hear time and time again people saying that they've got a dog and he's gun shy. Well, I'm a firm believer that gun shy dogs they're not born, they're made. Okay, if you don't expose them to the right guns the right way, you can pretty much run a dog as far as it goes to being a hunting dog. Now, there's been a few that's been here to the kennel that's had some gun issues, and we fixed them. But like I said, it's a one time out in the field bad experience, and you're looking at 6-8 months to get it fixed. And I don't know if you actually honestly get it completely fixed. It's something they never forget. But I was going to kind of go over with you how we introduce our dogs to gunfire. I know we haven't got to that with Trinity yet, but some of you guys have asked me this. This has been on our mind for a while. So what we do is we start out just as young puppies. I mean, these pups will be about 3 weeks old, and we'll pull the mother out of the whelping room for a couple of hours, and when they get good and hungry, we'll just take a spoon and a food pan, and we'll tap a few times, and then we'll turn mama in there, okay? And we'll let mama feed them. Okay, this goes on up until they're about 5 weeks old, and then we move our pups outside during the day a lot at that age at 5 weeks, and then we continue to expose those puppies to this. I don't know what you want to call it. It's conditioning, but the conditioning of hearing a noise and getting a food reward. We have a big round pen that we put litters of puppies in. It's about 20 feet across, and we'll put the pups out in the morning and give them a little social time, and we'll take and pour a big pan of food, and we'll call them flying saucer food pans. And I'll have my assistant walk out there to the puppy pen with the food pan, and we'll use our shotgun simulator that we use to train with on a daily basis. I'll get about 100 yards away from the pen, and I'll just fire off one time, and then she'll put the food down, and I'll work my way closer and closer over the next few days, until it's time for the pups to go home. But we've done this. I've done it this way for lots of litters, and then as they get the food reward down over a week and a half or 2 weeks, and just before they go home to their new owners, we'll take and introduce these guys to a live pigeon, and we'll tape the pigeon wings up where he can't fly, and we'll introduce them to the pigeon just by throwing it in there and letting them play around with it and chase around on it. and that sort of stuff. And then we'll take and we'll put the pigeon in there. Sorry about that, guys. I'm watching this guinea over here. He's trying to eat my garden up. I was fixing to get on him, but anyway, we'll take and put the pigeon in there. We'll shoot, and then we'll throw the pigeon in there. So they start simulating that, birds come after loud noises, and that's kind of how we kind of get them started as young puppies, and then we kind of lay off that for a while, and then after after we get through our obedience, our collar conditioning, and our force fetch, we go out into the field, and then we start shooting in the field like you guys have seen us do with Trinity. We're shooting out there and dropping a bird, and she's going out and getting it. They get a little more fired up about that. And then once we're at the stage right now with Trinity where we're working very gradual to get her steady. And once we get her steady, then I will have an alternate gunner instead of the gun out in the field, so to speak. I'll have my thrower, which is Nikki. I'll have her just be out in a white coat, and we'll do some walking singles. And I'll have Mr. Kim, which you guys have seen some here on the videos. He'll just stand about 25 or 30 yards, and he'll actually shoot. We call them HRC poppers because that's where they're mostly used at, is in HRC. Just shoot a popper, pick up a duck. He'll move 5 or 6 yards closer, shoot a popper, pick up a duck, and we'll get this down gradually to where, pretty much I'm sitting on a bucket, she's sitting to my left side, and he's sitting on a bucket to her left side, and we'll shoot, and then eventually we'll transfer the gun over to where I'm shooting it. And we'll spend a couple weeks doing this with these HRC poppers with Trinity, and we'll get her used to the noise there at her side. And then once we get that done, then we'll start with live ammunition. And Mr. Kim, once again, he'll be 25 or 30 yards away, and we'll shoot, throw a duck, move a little closer, and I mean that works really well with these guys. And you have to read your dog here. If you shoot and then she flinches or whatever, you need to immediately the next time you need to move away 5 yards, and you need to figure out where she's comfortable, and you need to shoot from there a few times, then move a little closer and shoot, and if she's good there, then you might move a little closer, and you just kind of got to read the dog. You want her to pay more attention to the gunner out in the field and not so much the shot, and you're doing repetition after repetition after repetition after repetition of this, and she's going to eventually get used to it. I mean, it's exposure, and that's all that breaking the dog is. I hear these guys all the time. They go, I took my dog out to a skeet shoot this last weekend. This happens typically a lot here in Texas before dove season. And I chained that sucker up to the ball knob of the truck, and we shot 2,000 rounds. Didn't bother him a bit. Well, that's all fine and dandy till duck season comes around, and then these guys start calling me going, hey, I went ahead and took Rover out to a skeet shoot, back during dove season and all, and shot a bunch of rounds over him and didn't bother him or anything. And the first time we shot in the duck blind this morning, he went to the truck. Well, I don't blame him. You didn't expose him right, okay? There's a right way and a wrong way to do this, all right? Another thing that happens, okay, and I try to help this not happen myself, but I get these guys that buy a dog off of me or whatever, or maybe bring a dog to train here, and they just don't listen, okay, because this is what they do. I get out here and I work hard. This dog gets out here and it works hard. It learns all it needs to learn to be a great gun dog, and we get out here and we try to expose it to as many things as we can, and then they got this nice, neat, cool little dog, and they take it hunting the first time, instead of doing like I asked them to and taking it hunting just by themselves, or them taking one buddy and taking turns shooting the first time that the dog goes hunting. You know, don't just unload a volley of shots. Okay, you got to pick out one duck and shoot one time, hit or miss. You got to hunt for the dog, okay? I get calls occasionally. People will go, well, I don't know what happened. You know, we came out and we trained with you like we were supposed to and everything, and, you know, and I carried her hunting, and, you know, we shot one time. Well, right there it tells me that they didn't do what I asked when they said we shot one time. And, you know, and we'll continue on with the conversation, and generally it ends up going like this. Well, you know, maybe we all shot. You know, maybe we all shot one time. Well, how many of you was it? Well, I took my 6 buddies with me. Well, I don't blame you, dog, for running off. They had never been in the middle of World War III, okay? We can only train them to do so much. You know, it's hard for me to get 6 or 7 guys out here and unload on these dogs. I don't want to scare the fire out of them either. So, you know, those are a couple of ways that gun-shy dogs are made. Like I said, I try to do my best to do my part to not so much overwhelm the dog in training, but to try to get the dog to be underwhelmed when they go on their first hunt. So that's some ways that they're made, and there's lots of ways to prevent it. But you know, you'll see it with, pardon me, you'll see with Trinity here. Oh, it'll be in probably a month or so, maybe a month and a half. We're going to get her out there and we're going to do this drill with her. But right now we're concentrating on force fetch and steadying her in the field and helping her to mark birds better in heavier cover. But anyway, I just wanted to discuss that with you guys. I hope I've maybe helped some of you guys here that were maybe planning on doing some of these things and maybe have changed your mind to do it different. But the number one thing that you can do for your dog is to be patient and use a lot of common sense. This is not rocket science, or I wouldn't be doing it. Trust me, I'm not a rocket scientist. But anyway, I hope you guys have a really good weekend. I'm going to call it a weekend for myself, and I'm going to give all these well-trained retrievers we've got here a break for a couple of days, because we're going to hit it hard on Monday.